really excited to have Michael here. I didn't know Michael Collins, we all know him as our president of Lifewave, and very excited to have him back on the call again. And I know you've been traveling, got a lot of information for us, Mike, because you've been all over the world, it seems like. And I didn't know, is David going to make it with us tonight? You know?
He's not going to make it tonight. He is
no problem.
Himself and won't make it, so it'll be us and our guests.
That'll be great. Well, we got a lot to cover. So welcome everybody to our Lifewave call. We'll give you another 30 seconds. Anybody else want to give us their name and number, where they're calling from? That'd be great. Who else is out there tonight? Oh, we got a lot of silent people today, Mike. That happens a lot. So we're all shy in this industry. So let's get started, and we'll tell them all about Lifewave.
All callers are muted and may unmute themselves by pressing *6.
Well, welcome, Mike, and welcome, everybody, all the guests here on the Lifewave call. We do this every Tuesday, and a lot of the times we have Mr. Michael Collins, who's our president, and David Schmidt, the inventor of our product and CEO, but sometimes they're traveling, and that's been the case the last 3 or 4 weeks as they've been out across the country. And, Mike, I guess we'd like to start with, let's get right into, tell us a little bit about what you're seeing across the world that you've been to give us a little hint on the response to Lifewave. I know we've got some really interesting things happening in Europe and in Asia. Maybe you can bring us up to date and tell us the latest, greatest on Lifewave and why everybody should be tuning in and working hard. So if you don't know about Michael Collins, he's been at the beginning. He's been with us almost at the beginning. He's our president, and he's seen us really, Mike, almost from the inception, and seen the growth of our company. And your background in Shackley and, of course, the other companies have been remarkable, helpful in helping us keep Lifewave on track here, and really seen some momentous growth over the last 6 or 7 years. So, Mike, again, just tell us a little about what happened here over the last month or so on your travels and what you're hearing about Lifewave across the world.
All right, that sounds like a deal, George. Thank you. Since the last time that we've spoken, I don't believe that I've been on a call or had the opportunity to get on a call since we came back from our Asia trip. Just real briefly, that was the trip during which we opened the Hong Kong market. We went there as the first part of our trip, and we've had a lot of interest in Hong Kong for many years, and it's just never been a great set of circumstances. And so we went to Hong Kong, and of course we had set it up, and we had a great meeting of our early Hong Kong leaders there, and everything was just fantastic. We met in we reserved a beautiful banquet room in a hotel for our small group of leaders. We all got together and agreed we were looking at one of the greatest opportunities of all time, and these guys all said, and I say guys, it was men and women, all acknowledged that. It was the whole discussion was, what are we going to do to make sure we don't that we take advantage of this and make sure everything goes the way it's supposed to. So the next day we had a big meeting, our first one there, and gosh, it was just so much fun. We were talking to of Hong Kong, very cosmopolitan audience, diverse, several different cultures. We had the meeting translated into Chinese, and it was just terrific. So then from there we went back to our old friends in Taipei, George. We had another great meeting there. Had one of the best leader meetings that we've ever had there, and we were focusing on Matrix, and more about that in a little bit. And so, they were all so excited about Matrix that we ended up spending a huge amount of the time at the meeting talking about Matrix, and so that was very rewarding. And of course, we had a great leader there, Larry Shu, who has done so much for us there, and just a great time. Then George, we went from Taipei to on the way back to the mainland. We stopped in Honolulu, and everybody, please stop crying in sympathy for us. But we went there for the first Lifewave meeting there, but it's certainly the first one since I've been with the company, so that goes back 7 years now.
Right.
And we have a terrific group building there, and of course it's just like you'd expect. The leader in Honolulu is someone that was brought in by a person who was brought in by Rick DeLuca and Ron Jimenez up in San Jose, and they were both brought in by Roy Sturgiano, and the whole network aspect of it is so much fun to watch. It really has worked so well. But anyway, we had a great meeting in Honolulu. Very first time we had probably, I don't know, just around 100 people maybe that attended the meeting. And since then, the woman who is our leader there has now, for the second month in a row, been in the top 5 sponsors in the world. So all good things are going on there. So that was our travels, George. But I just want to make one observation, and that is that over the last 3, 4, 5 months, we've always talked about our biggest market in the world is France. It has been for almost 40 years, and in the last few months, France has been replaced by the good old U.S. of A. The United States is the number 1 market in the world for us now, and the reason for that, and this is really what I'm getting at, the reason for that is we've always had good leadership, but we've been bringing in this latest group of leaders in Northern California, Southern California, on the East Coast. They're just driving so much growth because they're enthused, and they're making things happen. It's just really a cool thing to watch. So that's that part of it. And if I could, George, let me just go on and talk a little bit about what's going on elsewhere in the world, because it's such a big part of our business. And what I'm referring to is, of course, our business in Europe. We have achieved a remarkable success in Europe, and that is that we've had our products reviewed and approved by the French Ministry of Health, and nobody else in the business has ever done this before. It's absolutely unheard of, and because of that review and that acceptance of the products and the technology, we are moving forward with a plan that will eventually result in Lifewave technology being used in hospitals to treat pain. And this is just a game changer for everybody. And it only applies in Europe, so we can't really apply the technology in the same way here. But the most important thing is that once we are up and operating fully with this, everybody around the world will be able to talk about the fact that Lifewave's products are being used in hospitals to treat pain. So it's a fantastic turn of events. And what that means to us in Europe is that, as you know, Europe is, as a whole, all the European countries together, is by far the largest region in the world that we do business in. And this will mean that all over the European Union, we are going to reach new heights and new successes because of this turn of events. So it's just a great time to be in Lifewave. I can't even express how absolutely unlimited the future is when you can see something like that happening. So that's been our lately, and man, it's been great.
Mike, when you think about it, is a monumental achievement in Europe to have something comparable to the FDA actually look at our product and go to the clinicals and look at all the research and really verify what we've known all along. But it's been very difficult because we've had our own clinicals, and we know the Lifewave product works as all the products do. But getting somebody to actually take notice and really do the research themselves independently and come to the same conclusion is monumental. And congratulations to you and to David and the Lifewave staff for pursuing that and keeping on top of that, because it's going to really set us apart over the next 50 years as we grow this company. And we look forward to the other products, them recognizing our sleep product. I think we had some sleep studies recently that were remarkable as well, did we not?
Yeah, we did, George. We've had one completed by a very, very famous, world-renowned researcher, and he completed the study and wrote it up and sent it to us, and it just couldn't be better timed. And the result of the study showed a remarkable increase in the average time that subjects were able to sleep. And an order of magnitude, we're talking about people with real significant sleep problems who were averaging about 2.1 to 2.2 hours of sleep a night, and with silent nights getting from there to about 6 hours of sleep a night on average. And this is, you got to keep reminding people, this is without any drugs and without anything going into the body. This is just Lifewave technology working the way that it works. And that study will, that's what we're looking at next, is to take silent nights and do some upgraded work with that, because it's so important. And insomnia is a problem all over the world. And we've obviously got a great answer. So anyway, that's a biggie coming up very soon.
And we can't wait for the rest of them. But, whether we have all the clinicals or we have independent proof, everybody knows these products work, and that's what we've said since day one. And we always say, just try it. We don't make any claims. Just try it, see what happens. And I know with my own life, Mike, you've watched me over the years, how much younger I look. My birthday was yesterday, by the way, and I was 59. So
You're 59?
59th, and when I greet people, and I'm always asking them, it's a loaded question, how old do you think I look? So they're kind of leery as to what exactly. So you think they're going to aim low just to be kind, but when I tell them my age, they're often in shock. They really can't believe. They really think I'm in my 40s. And once in a while, I'll get in the late 30s, but most of the time, 45, 47, someplace in there. But we all, I'll never forget David's quote when it came up with the glutathione, because the glutathione, even though all the patches are anti-aging, in our second year we came out with glutathione, and that to me was just a hallmark of a product, because it really got us into anti-aging. And I've been wearing the energy patches now for almost 8 years, and then the glutathione as soon as it came on. And my regimen is I wear the glutathione, the carnosine, the energy, the Eon now, and then the sleep at night. And I can just tell you that people really think I look 10 to 15 years younger than I am. And that's exactly what Suzanne Summer talks about, and that's really our hallmark. Now, it's not as dramatic as our pain relief product, or in some cases the sleep, but it's the one thing everybody needs to understand out there, if you wear patches for 30 days, you're going to notice a difference, a significant difference in your skin complexion, in your energy level, and in your mental focus. And you can tell by my energy level. When people hear me on the phone, they just don't think I'm old either. And it's all attributable to the Lifewave product line, because that's really the only thing I've done different over the last 8 years. And if it was a matter of genes or my DNA, well, it's the same DNA I had 10 years ago, so why do I look younger today than I did 10 years ago? And I haven't had any procedures done. I don't do anything else other than the patches. And I'm sure you've seen this from other people, certainly with Chuck Michael and so on. And maybe you can address the fact that this really is a life-changing product line. If they stay on the protocol that David recommends, it just has such a remarkable effect on your body. It's just incredible.
It does, and it's so funny you mentioned Suzanne. She was on a New York-based talk show this morning talking about her book, Bombshell, which is the entire theme of age. And her, she did a great job, of course, and on she didn't really get to mention patches very much because it was a relative tight and focused interview, and they were in her book and so on. But we've talked to her in person recently, and she's so funny. She stands there and she says, "Look at me. I'm 65." She said she turned 65 last October. And she said, when I was a kid, I thought of 65 as ancient. And it was back then. And she said, now, she said, you know, look at me. I'm healthy. I'm active. She goes on to say, and she's very proud of this, she says she's sexual. She's very youthful. She's very young. And she attributes that to many things. But one of them that's really crucial for her is she wears all the anti-aging patches. She wears Eon, she wears carnosine, she wears glutathione. And of course she uses energy enhancer every day. And if you look at this woman at the age of 65, you really look at her and say, okay, that's the way I want to feel and look when I'm 65. And it really is more than looks. It's the way that you feel. It's the look in your eye. It's the energy in your step. It's a whole different way of feeling when you're youthful and the body is. This is, and all of this important diet, exercise, and all those things. But I'm telling you, I just tell you my own testimonial, George. Before I started with Lifewave, I've always been physically active, and I live in a neighborhood that sits on top of a hill here in San Diego, and my form of exercise is I go out and walk those hills, and I do it very, very rapidly. It's very strenuous aerobic exercise. And before I started, now this is going back almost 7 years, so I'm 7 years younger back then. When I was chugging up these hills, there were many times that I had to stop and take a short breather before continuing. I didn't feel bad about it. I thought, well, that's just, these hills are steep, and that's the way it is. Once I joined Lifewave and I started using energy enhancer, and then energy enhancer and glutathione, all of a sudden, I was flying up these hills, and it was not only didn't I have to stop, but it felt, and I told this to David, it felt like I didn't even do it. It just felt like the walk was fine, no big deal. I got good aerobic exercise, but it's just totally different because I'm wearing these patches. And of course, since Eon came out, that's the other part of my daily regimen. Glutathione, energy, and Eon, carnosine several times a week, and silent nights and Lifewave as needed. It's changed my life. I went to a family reunion not long ago, and I have a whole bunch of sisters and a brother. We're all very tight together in age. And, the rest of them are, they're healthy, but they're nursing injuries and, sore hips and sore legs. And I just started patching my family like crazy, and they look at me and think, "Holy cow!" They know that they know how old I am, and it's a whole different way of aging. And that's literally what we're talking about. It's a whole different way of aging, and it's aging so that you live longer and you live healthier.
Absolutely, and I'm hoping that this will be the theme. Sorry, hold on. I had a little bit of cold last week, but that's the thing. Even when I get a cold, then I just walk through it. In fact, I gave it to a friend of mine. He's almost laid up. I mean, he just shows you how strong your immune system is. Even when you get something, it never slows me down. I get maybe some coughing here and there, but rarely do I have to take an antibiotic, and rarely do I really end up in bed or really slow me down at all. It just gives me this kind of a cough once in a while. So I was traveling. I obviously have picked up something, but it's amazing how strong the immune system is. And when I get up in the morning, Mike, I panic if I don't put these patches on. It's the first thing I do. I have in my dresser. Before I walk out the door, I just, after I take my shower, walk in, and I just patch myself up. And this whole concept that you can patch and forget it is amazing. The fact that you just put these little stickers on. But
you and I are a lot alike that way, George. I get up in the morning and I still do my power walk every morning, and so I go into the bathroom. I get my walking clothes on, and I put the patches on each thing. I don't go out without them. And quality of exercise,
exactly.
My whole life is just remarkably great.
And I've been thinking that one day, we'll get a Nobel Prize for this product, just because it's so not widely used enough. It's just so, I wouldn't say misunderstood, but we're getting paid to get the word out there, and one of the ways we get the word out is become a product of the product. And we just, our guarantee, we're a member of the Direct Selling Association. We have a guarantee, and our guarantee is just try the product. We have a money back guarantee. Give this, particularly 90 days is the term I really like people to use, because when you think about how your body's going to change, you didn't get old in a second. It took time. And even though the patches work immediately when you put them on, some people notice a change in the very first minute, the first days, the first week. But as far as looking at the overall health of your body, and the changes that can occur from the detox to the strengthening and the energy in the cells, give it 90 days. And like a plant that's greening up, if you want to give it some fertilizer, it takes time. It blooms immediately, but sometimes you don't notice the changes because they're incremental day by day. But people will begin to notice that your face is changing, your skin tone is changing. For many people, it's different things. It's your mental acuity, it's your alertness, it's the sparkle in your eye, it's a new step in your gait. It's all those things that can happen. And if you monitor what happens, you're definitely going to see some changes with Lifewave, and that's why we built such a big organization. The pain relief is our most dramatic product. The Eon has become a bestseller because of its overall anti-aging effect and effect on stress, and a lot of people feel that product pretty quickly too. But wear the patches, including the sleep, and you will notice a big difference. And I guess that's what we want to stress today. And of course, with a product like this comes a business opportunity, and we can't leave without mentioning the fact that, as you said, we're starting to lead the world in some growth here in the U.S. and with a few leaders. And that's really what it takes, just going out and spreading good word to you. Get some leaders in there that want to run with this and focus on it, because this is a life-changing product line. You can change people's life in their health, and you can also change it in their finances. And we have a comp plan that works every place in the world. It's a 3-level match binary. It's something that's very stable, something that a lot of companies have used and have used successfully worldwide. And it's a program that you can build the residual income up, and we have for many, many, many people. And we can't leave without mentioning the fact that we have 4 different levels to join, all the way from $99 up to $1,499 to give people a wide range of areas to come in at a level that they feel comfortable with. But probably most popular is the gold at $499 and the diamond at $1499, because it gives you such value on our product, and it gives you a wide spectrum. And we build an organization based on not just spreading the information about Lifewave for customers and spreading it for business builders, and that's how we build up our incomes. And so if you just got on here and you want to learn about our comp plan, it's right there on the website under Opportunity. We have videos on that. We've got a PDF file that you can read it. But it all starts with you just joining and trying our product and becoming a product of the product, and explaining to people that if they're interested in making some money and changing people's health, this is a company for them. Now, Mike, you've seen a lot of people change in terms of their finances over the year. Maybe just touch on that, what the impact has been financially for so many people across the world.
Yeah, George, we've had some just remarkable stories through the years. People that it is very common for us, to have some people that have never been in a network company before, really go in without a great deal of understanding of how the thing works. And got in because the product worked. That's what got them in. And we, but some of these people have turned out to be the most successful distributors we have, and they've gone from their old lives where they had a job and maybe they were doing okay but not great, and through just sharing the product getting a little bit of education on how our comp plan works, and using that to their advantage. All of a sudden, turn out with they go from having a little bit, they get it there enough to get their products free. Then it gets from there to they're making enough to make a car payment. Then they get from there to holy mackerel, I'm able to save up for my kids' education. And then it gets from there to, well, you know what, I'm going to be able to take a nice vacation this year. I'm going to be able to save more for retirement, and suddenly they figure out that they've got enough coming in through their building of this network and this people that are committed to sharing the product. They've got enough to be able to see financial security. And in this day and age, George, I mean, how often do you find that? Usually it's the opposite. It's people that thought they had security that turn out, look at their 401ks one day and find out they don't. And this is such a great opportunity that way. We are able, all it takes is getting in and doing the work, and you can make as much as you want to make. And it's a great system for that.
Absolutely. So, Mike, that really covers all of it, from the dynamics of our product to the new results with our sleep study, and of course with the great news from Europe on the French board, allowing us to actually see it as a medical product, just because it's so good as a pain relief product. To the fact that you can start the business here in the United States and spread it. We ship to over, I think, well over 80 countries, and that it's just an international business. But it all can start right from you and your hometown, and starts with you getting on the product and then sharing it with others effectively. So, what a great product, Mike. It's a life-changing product. Thanks for you and Suzanne Summers to lead us in the direction of what it's done. And she's put us in all of her books recently, and at least 3 or 4 of her bestsellers here. I've mentioned Lifewave, and she's such a great proponent, a great ambassador for us. So thank you, Mike, for guiding us this way. And if you have any last words, that'd be great, and then we'll call it a night.
Well, thanks, George. I appreciate you doing your usual great job of hosting, and all I could say to anybody on the call, if you're listening to this for the first time, I hope that you get a sense of the enthusiasm and the success that we've built over the years. We are a company that does things the right way, and it's not a situation that you would call a rich, quick pitch. Certainly there are a lot of people that have done well in a short period of time, but we're long. Everything we do is for the long term, and we would love to have you as a part of our company to help other people in life-changing ways and to make a good living while you're doing it. So with that, George, thank you very much, and we'll talk to you again next week.
Good. Thanks, everybody, and we'll see everybody same time next week. Good night, Mike, and have a great night. Thanks, everybody.
All right. Thanks, everybody.